Hi, my name is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses with theblackhomeschool.com. This is my good friend Shaquita Graham with techco.teachable.com. I will say we wear many hats, and I had to take a minute to remember which one we're wearing today. How are you doing today, Shaquita?
I'm doing great, Noma. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Our topic today is, of course, in line with Father's Day, which is coming up this weekend. Thank you for those of you that forgot. We just reminded you. Father's Day is this weekend. And of course, we know a legend and a great hero passed away recently, Muhammad Ali. So that also ties in with it. Shaquita, you have a link that you're going to show us where Muhammad Ali, I honestly don't know if this has been authenticated in the sense that it's actually him who said this, but I think it's great advice nonetheless. This is allegedly some advice that Muhammad Ali gave to his daughters. And you have a link that we can take a look at.
Yes. So here we see a picture of Muhammad Ali and his daughter. I believe this is Layla.
Yeah, that's Layla.
And this is, a story that was told by one of his daughters. Basically, the young ladies came in, and their clothing was less than favorable according to their dad, Muhammad Ali. And you want me to go ahead and just read it, Noma?
I can read it. Basically, he was reacting to them wearing hardly anything. And this is what he said. He looked, this is his daughter telling it. She says, he looked straight in the eyes and said, Hannah, everything that God made valuable in this world is covered and hard to get to. Where do you find diamonds? Deep down in the ground, covered and protected. Where do you find pearls? Deep down at the bottom of the ocean, covered up and protected in a beautiful shell. Where do you find gold? Way down in the mine, covered over with layers and layers of rock. You've got to work hard to get to them. He looked at me with serious eyes. Your body is sacred. You're far more precious than diamonds and pearls, and you should be covered too.
Wow.
So what's your reaction, Shaquita?
Well, it makes me think back to my childhood and my dad and other men in my community who protected me. Specifically, my dad worked during the day, and one of my friends, her father, he saw me trying to leave my suburban neighborhood and go what we call down the way. One summer day, with some people might describe it as Daisy Dukes on. And he saw me as he was driving by, and he said, "Get in the car." And I'm thinking, he's like, "Where are you going?" And I was telling him where I was going down the way, and I'm thinking he's going to give me a ride to where I'm going. He got me in that car, and he turned me around and took me all the way home. And I was catching the bus. I had walked down a hill. I'm leaving suburbia to go hang out with my friends. And he took me right on home and didn't say a word. He just got me in that car and dropped me off right at the house and opened the door. And by that time, I was like, look, I'm not going back through all of that. So, that was his way of protecting me. And I love Black men who take that time to protect the young Black women and the Black women in our community. Another way that I was protected growing up is my father. He protected me mentally. First of all, he played a lot of strategic games with us to get our critical thinking skills up, like chess and backgammon and poker. But he always used to tell me, don't forget that you are a genius, because I'm a genius. And I used to think, my dad is really a trip. But, as I got older, I recognized that I was never intimidated to try anything. I wasn't afraid. I never thought that, I'm not smart enough to do this, or I can't figure this out. So that's what that quote from Muhammad Ali, or that story about Muhammad Ali, reminds me of. What about you, Noma?
What's funny is when I look at the advice that he gave, I'm very keenly aware of the similarities between him and my dad, at least in that particular incident. Do you notice that at no point did he wag his finger and say, you should not be blah, 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 and you better not, and this and all this other stuff. He was kind and gentle, and he pointed out what he thought and what he saw. he gave an analogy or a hypothetical, example, and then he handed it back to his daughter to make the best decision or a better decision. And in that she shared it, it means that she took his advice to heart, and she really appreciated it, and she took that advice and did what he obviously wanted her to do. And the way that I can remember about my dad is a lot of times looking back, my dad, obviously he was the parent, so he had final say in a lot of things. But where it really mattered, I noticed that he really didn't tell me what to do. He would just give me examples of, this is this path and this is where it leads. And there's this path and this is where it leads. And I trust you to choose the right path. Because I know that this is what you want for your life and so on, and this is what I want for your life. This is what your mother and I want for your life. I remember one time, I think I was about 18 or 19 years old, so I really thought I was grown, I went out and I think I was at a party or something like that. And in those days, at 3, 4 a.m., the parties would still be rocking, So there I come, 4 a.m., come home and go to bed. The next morning when I woke up, my dad was in the living room sitting, and he called for me to come and sit with him. And I sat with him, and he told me, again, he was not angry or anything. He just told me that, last night I stayed up pretty late, and by the time I went to bed, you were not here. And he's like, you finished high school. You're making your own decisions about what kind of a woman you want to become. And he started to tell me, and he gave me an example. My father is one of 9 children, and he told me, he's like, my own father, talking about his own father, my own father raised some great women. And I can tell you right now, Nomalanga, none of them ever came home at 4 a.m. And here's why, and I'm not going to go on and on and on. And he just started drawing these parallels of, there's this kind of woman and there's this kind of woman. And again, he never said you should be this kind of woman. But again, it was obvious. He used words like respectable. He talked about in the long run, when you want a husband, do you think you want what kind of a husband do you want? And he's like, me as a respectable man, this is the kind of woman I want in my life, and so on. And he talked and talked and talked. And I heard his message loud and clear. And needless to say, I've been very thoughtful and mindful of the decisions that I make, not just in that moment, but in the bigger picture of what it says about me as a woman. Even before I got married, now I make decisions in terms of what it means, to be a wife, what it means to be a mother, what it means to be a contributing member of a community, what it means to be a role model, a teacher. There's so many things. And again, it's ultimately about making choices that preserve your dignity and self-respect.
Absolutely. And the quote from Muhammad Ali, it stirs up so many memories, because Muhammad Ali is a beloved figure, a father figure to many, in the public, just at large. And then you have so many people in our history that we could look back on. Sometimes I go back and listen to Malcolm X speeches, or I go back and listen to John Henrik Clark lectures. Then I think about my own husband and how he'll take the boys out on Saturday and let them play basketball, play basketball with them, and, different things like that. Another thing that I remember about my dad, he used to tell me, I know you think you look real cute right now, but let me tell you something. You got to be more than cute out here. You're going to have to be a lot more than cute. And I didn't really fully get it, but I used to, it's like, it makes an impression on you in a very unassuming way. It's right. Like you kind of get it. And ever since then, I try to be as cute as I could be, but at the same time, I, invested in my intellect and in my education and things like that as well.
Absolutely.
And try to be a well-rounded person.
So I know this is going to come up. So I'll just say it before it comes up preemptively. I've heard a line of thinking that says that we need to stop telling women what to wear and who to be and so on.
Oh, yeah.
And I fully respect that, because I don't want anybody telling me what to do, especially now, because I think I'm grown. But having said that, we're talking about fathers, and we're talking about fatherhood. And if your father can't guide you and direct you, or if you've not had a father figure to guide you and to direct you, then how can you really say that the path that you're on is one that really supports you becoming the best woman that you can be, you know? So I'm not really about people telling people what to do. I respect everybody's, right to do what they want to do. But I think that a lot of times you really have to think about the woman that you want to be and the woman that you're becoming, and what you want to project. And, that's all I'll say about it.
This is, quote unquote controversial today, right? And maybe it's been in other times, saying that women should cover themselves up. And I've definitely, as a younger woman, been guilty of not really applying that, and have found that it was a bad way to go. So I, for one, am for people of a community, loved ones, telling me what to do. I think that, it says, there's an African proverb that says, no one plans for prosperity by sitting down at the table alone, or something like that. To say that prosperity is a team effort. You need wise counsel. So this whole culture of, I'm grown and I'm this, and I don't need anybody to tell me. Yeah, you do need somebody to tell you, because you're operating on information from not even one lifetime. You
Absolutely
don't have the experience, and you don't fully understand the context and the perspectives all around you to make the best decision without some insight. Right. Not to say that you have to follow what everybody says to do, but it makes sense to look for information about things that are going to be pertinent to your life and your future. So I think that in the Black community, getting back to that place where we as a community care for one another, and we tell each other the truth, and we support one another by giving encouraging words or giving constructive criticisms where it's needed. That is how we build, and that's how iron sharpens iron. So I totally get where people feel like, you shouldn't judge me, and you shouldn't, that has maybe its place, but where we are as a society and in the Black community, we definitely need to have each other's back, and we need to look out for each other and give each other advice, and we need to receive good advice.
I absolutely agree. And again, this weekend is Father's Day, so I do really want to just, affirm and appreciate the fathers out there. And let's just keep in mind that this is about celebrating, applauding, appreciating fathers. And let's do that. Let's just do that.
Absolutely.
And nothing more, or at least nothing less. Let's just appreciate and affirm and support fathers, and let that day be about that. Go ahead, Shaquita.
I was going to say, and honor your father. My father is no longer with us, but I try to do things that I think would make him proud.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, guys, this is my good friend Shaquita Graham with techco.teachable.com. I apologize, Shaquita. I'll say it again, techco.teachable.com, where you can go to sign up for a plethora of courses that Shaquita has to offer. My name is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses. I am the founder of theblackhomeschool.com. I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Shaquita, for joining me.
Thanks for viewing, guys. Happy Father's Day.
Bye.